Welcome to Proverbs 29. Without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. The verse that stood out to me for this one is Proverbs 29, verse 23. This is in the Amplified Translation, and it says, "A man's pride and sense of self importance will bring him down, but he who has a humble spirit will obtain honor." A man's pride and sense of self importance will bring him down. It's not like I did not know this before, right? It's not like I did not know this before, but it just hits differently when scriptures say certain things. And we can often want to live blindsided by the fact that, well, this is the world and the scriptures are different, blah, blah, blah. Well, the people that the Holy Spirit inspired to write this, they walked the same surface of the earth. Yeah, we may have been in a new century, but man is man. So we just have a recycle of things that we think we've not seen. Yeah, modern civilization and whatnot, things might be different, but the heart cannot be remanufactured. The mind, especially the systems of this world, the Babylonian system and what have you, it still remains. It may be rebranded as something new, but it is still the same. It is still the same. The heart, pride, humility still remains the same throughout all generations. So let's not get it twisted. So now jumping right back into it. Pride and anger seems to be the heart of the matter here. This is personal for me because it's hard dealing with a prideful person. Personally, for me, it is so hard for me to, if I sense an iota of pride in you, honestly, I will feel sorry for you because I know it can lead to destruction, honestly. And that is my heart. I feel so sorry for those that are prideful, right? And this is something I do from time to time. I check myself. If I'm sounding like, yeah, I did that, I did all of that, I deserve it, well, I'm going to ask myself, I have a conference with myself and totally ask myself if just assess myself, carry out an assessment of myself on my heart to make sure that I'm not prideful because I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer any consequences, right? I don't want to be led to destruction by my own pride. So I genuinely feel bad and sorry for those that are prideful. And the ugly truth is that you you almost cannot pray it away. It has to come from that person realizing and saying, you know what? I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to. I want to humble myself before God and accept God's ways and not elevate myself above what God is telling me. It really takes that person to do that. So it's not something that you can actually just pray away. I know prayer, you can pray all things. You can pray that God will change that person's heart. But that's as much as you can do. You can't really pray pride away for someone else. For yourself, it's something where you can go through the school of humility, I believe, in maybe Proverbs 21 or 22 talks about or 25 talks about the skillful living, and you have to go through the skillful living of God with God to be able to be humble or something in that nature. But I digress. And it's really tough for me to deal with a prideful person because even though they may have a nice outward look, there's a fear in their hearts. Like anger is a defense for being proud. So I've seen it, I've seen it, I've seen it. And I'm sure some of you may have experienced it. When you try to, call someone proud back to order, like, hey, I think you may be dealing with the issue of pride here. What arises and what responds back to you is anger, and that is just them being in the defense mode. So don't take it personally like you're being attacked. It's just their defense mechanism kicking in. And I've just kind of developed some kind of compassion or this attitude in people, or will I say characteristics in some people, because not everyone is prideful. And I personally, I just make sure that I am seeking God to keep me humble, search my heart, and purge me of everything that may seem like pride in it. That I want to see God. I want to experience Him. I want to touch Him. I want to experience the presence of God. I know pride will never take me there. Pride will hinder me from that. It would just be a dream that will never come true. So I'm going to do away with everything that seems like pride in my life. And I pray that for anyone that is struggling with, pride, or someone dealing with someone that is prideful, that God gives you the grace and the patience for that person, and the grace to be able to see beyond their attributes and just look deep in their hearts and pray for them, that God would change every stony heart to flesh. He's the one that touches the hearts of kings and priests, and stirs them in the way He wants them to go. So He's able to do that, but it's just you cannot pray pride away. You can pray for God to touch their hearts, right? For them to have a change of heart, for God to captivate their hearts, but you can't really, really pray that, oh, God will change their pride to humility. They would. You're praying, yeah, but let's just keep it that way. So one question that I have is, how do you deal with such people that their opinion matter? Well, I guess there's a word for it in today's world. It's called narcissism. And how do you deal with that? I actually, for me, I actually just, like I said, have compassion for people like that. I wouldn't say I've dealt with that in a very tight relationship, if I must say, but I may have, and I just dealt with it with compassion towards them. And if something ain't working, I move on, right? But I genuinely just pray for them and pray for myself to deal with them in a way that will not blow up in each other's faces. And if the relationship is too maybe toxic for you or anything like that, just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Be at peace with all men and keep it moving. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. And I would see you in the next one. Bye.